Buried beneath the shadows of Cold War secrecy and government denials lies a name that continues to echo through the corridors of conspiracy: Project Monarch. It's not an official title you'll find in declassified archives, yet for decades, whispers of its existence have persisted among researchers, survivors, and former insiders. Allegedly a sub-program of the CIA's notorious MKUltra initiative, Monarch is said to focus on trauma-based mind control. According to those who claim to have experienced it, the program used extreme psychological and physical torment to fracture the human mind, then programmed each fragment into obedient personas. These alters could be triggered with specific codes or symbols, creating what some describe as human puppets trained for espionage, performance, or far darker purposes. The name Monarch supposedly derives from the metamorphosis of the butterfly, an eerie metaphor for transforming the mind from chaos into manufactured control. Survivors' accounts reference military bases, underground facilities, and bizarre rituals involving prominent figures. Critics argue these are delusions, but some psychological reports, court testimonies, and obscure government documents hint that such trauma-based methods were indeed studied, if not deployed. No paper trail confirms Project Monarch ever officially existed. And yet the idea refuses to disappear. It lingers in documentaries, books, and first-hand claims, each suggesting that something once operated in the shadows, something engineered not to be found. Perhaps the truth lies buried not in files, but in the minds of those who were never meant to remember.
In the quiet deserts of Nevada during the Cold War, a project codenamed Pluto began, not to explore space, but to build a weapon unlike anything the world had ever seen. Launched in the late 1950s, Project Pluto was America's attempt to create a nuclear-powered cruise missile. Unlike conventional missiles, this one wouldn't just carry a nuclear warhead. It would be powered by a nuclear reactor. Once launched, it could fly for months at Mach 3, weaving through enemy airspace, dropping multiple bombs, or worse, using its reactor to spew lethal radiation as it roared overhead. At the heart of Pluto was the Tori reactor, an experimental engine built to survive unimaginable speeds and temperatures. In 1961, engineers at the Nevada test site finally brought it to life. And it worked. The engine roared with apocalyptic energy, proving that a flying nuclear reactor was terrifyingly possible. But Pluto was too dangerous, not just for enemies, but for the planet. It had no off switch. Once launched, it couldn't be recalled. And with radiation pouring from its engine, it would leave a path of destruction before ever reaching its target. By 1964, the program was quietly shut down. The Cold War had shifted toward ICBMs, and Project Pluto was deemed too unpredictable. Yet fragments of the program remain. Documents, photos, engine parts, scattered in archives and test ranges, enough to suggest that for a moment in time, the U.S. held a weapon so deadly even its creators feared what might happen if it ever left the ground.